Well, thanks. So my name is Ntokozo Moloi. I'm from Wits University. I was involved in the Fees Must Fall movement. In 2015, I was the leader of the legal task team, and then in 2016, I was leading the logistics task team. I was also involved in the end outsourcing movement, and as a result of that, I became a student representative in the Wits insourcing task team.
I'm Terrence. Mine is going to be a bit longer because I'm older. I grew up in the south coast of Natal, KwaZulu-Natal, in a rural village. And I was very privileged because by the time I was 19, I knew a Shabin in Soweto, I knew a Shabin in Temple location in Hammanskraal, and I knew not Khayelitsha, Gugulethu and Langa townships in Cape Town. So I call that a privilege. I went to school at University of Western Cape, and there was a Frelimo rally in 1974, and all the black consciousness leaders got arrested. Terra Lakota and Muntu Mieza, Sats Cooper got arrested at the rally. It was supporting and in support of the Mozambique freedom, the 25th of September 1974. So they got arrested, and I was also doing law at UWC. And they asked me to go back to Durban to run the office of the South African Students' Organization. So I left university and went full-time into the political organization, which was SASO, Students' Organization, which had been formed by Biko earlier on. So that was just the start of it. And so between that was 1974, end of 1974. But then I got arrested in 1976, spent 3 months in detention, solitary confinement. 77, 78, spent 1.5 years in detention in Modderby prison. When I was released in 78, September, no, I got released in December. I was then banned and confined to my little village in Mzinto, KwaZulu-Natal. The banning order restricted me to a little village, and you couldn't talk to more than 2 people at a time. So I was asked by the ANC in 1979 to join the ANC structures in Swaziland. I went to join the ANC structures in Swaziland. I received military training in Germany and in Angola, and did underground work for the ANC for 15 years. Lucky to survive, because in Swaziland, when I worked there, the death rate was 75% of the people that I worked with. Very traumatic as well, but that was it. Then I also worked as a chief representative of the ANC in Angola. Very nice for a democratic experience, because you can imagine if you sit in front of 2,000 soldiers and they've all got guns, how you must conduct yourself. It's very different from, the democracy that you have now, but it was a very wonderful lesson about how to conduct yourself in a leadership position. Came back and I started an NGO called Matla Trust, which trained people in democracy. And we created a massive organization. Then I went to government in 1995 and I worked in intelligence. And I was responsible for covert intelligence in the foreign countries, America, and Africa, and all that. I left there in 1990 and I went farming. So I've been farming for a long time now, and that's what I still do.
In terms of why did Fees Must Fall off? It was the repression, it was the trauma. We were not prepared. I mean, when you were in struggle, for example, you knew exactly how the government felt about you. And in your planning process and your strategies, you knew exactly what to expect. You knew that you'd be met with live ammunition. You knew the violence that would come from the state. We didn't know that. We didn't know that. We were protesting because we have a constitutional right to protest. And in everything that we did, we always expected that the police and our institutions will meet us and like negotiate with us simply because we have that constitutional standing that we are going to protest. And we are going to be protected because of that. We didn't assume that there would be wrongful arrests. We didn't assume that would be met with such violence. We didn't assume that, because like a lot of us, for instance, I was tapped for like 2 years of my life where I knew that I couldn't have certain conversations over my phone because someone was spying on me, being followed around everywhere, your freedom completely being stripped away from you. We didn't expect that. So if you're going to have a youth that is like zealous and passionate and they are for one particular cause and they are willing to fight for it with whatever it takes, and then they go into the picket line, and when they get to the picket line, all they get is like, and I mean Wits was simple. Wits, for us, we were just getting rubber bullets and stun grenades and tear gas and things like that. But when you look at your University of KZN, where a student was raped by a policeman. Students were being shot in their reses, not even in the picket line, but in their reses. They were being shot even with live ammunition. That happened also in University of Venda and all of that. And the trauma of it all, we were just not prepared for that. And the arrests and like being arrested for months on end, only for it to be a wrongful arrest. It was a bit difficult, and also not having the support from our parents, where when the parents look at everything that is going on, they're like, just go back to class. We want it all to end. And not having the support, because like what you were saying, that in terms of the ANC veterans and all of that, you guys looked at Fees Must Fall and you admired it. But no one came to us. We would have open meetings, open plenary. None of you guys came to us and say, okay, we've been through this. These are the strategies. We have this kind of training. Because we were left in a position where we couldn't defend ourselves. So had we had the support from civil society, from veterans such as yourself, I don't think that Fees Must Fall would be where it is right now.